So hello everyone. We are now 5 minutes into the hour. I will now go ahead and get started with this crucial topic for our webinar, how to cloud to seamlessly connect SAP data and processes to solutions. I am Brian Smoot II, Technical Account Manager with Theobald Software, and I'll be presenting alongside our CPO, who you see now, Christoph Schuler, and we're excited to guide you through this session. So I want to first go through our agenda. We're going to go through a quick intro to cloud integration, look at some common challenges as well as some benefits of connecting your SAP data to the cloud solutions, what the Theobald software way looks like, and then we'll round it out with some real world use cases as well as a live demonstration, and hand it over to Christoph to show you guys an in-depth look at our company roadmap. Okay. So I am excited to introduce you to Theobald Software, a leader in SAP integration solutions. We bring over 20 years experience to SAP data integration in general. We've expanded our global presence as well. We were founded in Stuttgart, Germany, and we now have a US-based office where Christoph and I are located. We are also proud to have built trust with a number of SAP clients globally and established a strong network of over 250 partners. So today, I'll be introducing you to some of our key products, including Extract for Universal, our tool for SAP data extraction, and yunIO, our SaaS solution designed for cloud integration. We also have Azure Extraction, Extract for Alteryx. It is an embedded plugin that enables SAP data extraction into your Alteryx workflows. So this allows for advanced analytics as well as reporting. Also within that data extraction field, we have Extract IS, which integrates your SAP data into your Microsoft SQL Server, as well as Extract IS for Azure, which is a plug-and-play solution with the same Extract IS components, but just to only extract that data into your Azure SSIS integration runtime. We spoke about the process integration with yunIO, and then for core development, we have ERP Connect, which is a .NET library that enables custom integration between SAP and .NET applications. So our tools are certified by SAP for integration with SAP systems. So this ensures reliability and compliance, and it's also listed on SAP's certificate solutions directory on that page. Within this, we connect directly to the application layer, hence our ability to be a certified SAP product or third-party integration tool. And while doing it through the application layer, it allows for seamless data access without database level interactions. Our solutions are also compatible with RISE with SAP for enabling and enhancing integration capabilities for businesses transitioning to cloud-based environments. And last but not least, within the overall architecture of how we extract and move data to target destinations, just understand when pushing or pulling this data in general to your chosen destination, the data is not stored, but it's directly transferred, okay? So let's discuss cloud integration and its significance for businesses. First off, what is cloud integration? So it's the process of configuring cloud systems to connect seamlessly, including on-premise environments like SAP. Now, why is connecting to SAP to the cloud so vital? SAP, as we all know, serves as a cornerstone for many enterprises, housing crucial data. So by integrating SAP with cloud solutions, businesses can unlock significant advantages. And within this integration, it enables companies to leverage the benefits of the cloud while enhancing their operational efficiency. Okay. Importantly, this can be done without disrupting core systems. So as a result, organizations can improve their overall performance, agility, and a competitive landscape. Okay. So as businesses evolve, managing data effectively has become critical to staying competitive in today's day. This brings up the question: why should you have data platform in the cloud, or why should you have a data platform in the cloud? Four basic means or rules to that, and that's for scalability. So cloud platforms enable businesses to scale their data infrastructure easily. This accommodating the growth without significant upfront hardware investments. It also provides flexibility. So for hybrid cloud solutions, they allow for efficient management of the workloads across both on-premise and cloud environments. So it optimizes the resource utilization as well. Cost efficiency. So for cloud solutions in general, cost by infrastructure maintenance and by automating the manual processes. And then in the cloud facilities and real-time analytics, faster and data-driven decision making through quicker access to the relevant information that you may need. So let's go ahead and look at addressing some of the common challenges businesses face when managing data and how we can resolve them with our tool suite to simplify and automate these procedures. Okay. As you can see on the first point, SAP data is often behind firewalls, making it very difficult to not only access but transport that information. So our tools provide a secure transport protocol, leveraging encryption, secure tunnels, as well as authentication processes that comply with corporate firewalls. So for the next point, the complexity of extracting from different SAP landscapes that add to the integration difficulty with our pre-built connectors supporting all major modules as well as environments in general. It allows seamless data extraction without requiring the absolute knowledge or specialization of ABAP programming. And then for performance issues that arise during large data transfers to the cloud, we introduce table CDC, which is for change data capture. So incremental data extraction in a sense. Extract only new or updated records, optimizing data transfer, minimizing bandwidth, as well as preventing performance bottlenecks. And for our last point, in regards to ensuring data security and compliance, which is crucial, but it can also be difficult to manage during a migration, we have secure connectivity protocols. So we utilize that encryption and secure that data transmission with methods that comply with security regulations. Now, let's walk through a success story that illustrates our solutions effectively and how they address those challenges or these challenges and they deliver tangible results for our clients. So as you can see here with the problem, SAP data updates, departments saw a growing need to access current data more frequently. They required more frequent access to up-to-date SAP data. So where daily updates once suffice, teams now need fresh data every 15 minutes to maintain agility and responsiveness in their operations. Again, we went towards that competitive nature of these things. So with Extract Universal, its specific component, table CDC or change data capture, companies can load only updated data or updated SAP data instead of reloading the entire data set. Okay. So think of that as a result. Instead of reloading 30 million rows every single time, only about 1,000 updated rows are transferred in a matter of minutes, reducing the processing time from an hour to just minutes. And then that takes us to our Extract Universal architecture. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at XU. So XU stands for Extract Universal. It's a SAP connector for data extraction from SAP. So our source will always be SAP, specifically on top of any of the ABAP native stacks. Um, And once you have that information from the source, which is always going to be SAP, we can deliver it to any of the data analytic platforms that you see here, whether it be Click, Alteryx, Power BI, Azure, just Snowflake, and within this, we offer, as you can see here, where it states data ingestion, only data ingestion, but data extraction as well. The reason why I say that is because within this overall flow, um, with our target environment types of destination, there is a pull destination like Power BI, where data is requested by the destination. So where you see Power BI initiates a query, Extract Universal will then retrieve that query that was requested from SAP data on demand. It'll then process that to ensure that Power BI gets the most up-to-date data directly from SAP when needed. And then we also have push destinations. Destinations like S3 or Azure Data Lake Storage, where the data is proactively sent to XU, which is Extract Universal, or to the storage that's sent from XU, I apologize, Extract Universal, to the storage destinations. So XU will then initiate this extraction process, often on a schedule or okay, it looks like we are still back online, so I apologize. I can step back a little bit just from the push destination, just in case everything was heard. So for the second type, like we spoke about, it's going to be a push destination, like we'll show here today within our live demonstration. So the push destination, like S3 or Azure Data Lake Storage, Extract Universal will initiate the extraction process, often on a schedule, and it'll be a continuous load into these cloud storage solutions, okay? So this approach will ensure that SAP data is readily available in the cloud platforms for further processing or analysis, all right? So within these two types, the flexibility of our tool supports real-time analytics from pulling that information or ongoing data storage and processing from pushing that extraction information out to those destinations based on your business needs. And also, as you can see within this last block where it states for user personas, our tool is designed with flexibility in mind. So supporting a variety of roles within organizations that you see here is very important to us. This is our tool yunIO, which is a no-code application for designing, automating, and integrating SAP processes into the cloud. It is a browser-based interface installed on a local cloud hosted Windows Server environment. It provides more of like it provides REST-based services to read and write data to SAP, from SAP to connected systems. So if you need to do maybe like a customer update, instead of doing this within the SAP GUI, you can utilize yunIO to write back to SAP updated information on customer management information or data. And also, this web-based service can be easily integrated into your process automation solutions, such as Power Automate and Nintex, as you can see here on the right-hand side. Again, with all of our tools from our SAP source, as you can see at the bottom, once it gets to our tools, it's a direct pass-through to your targeted environment. We do not save, manipulate any of the data within that sequential flow. And then we can also, as we're speaking about yunIO, I would like to cover a wide range of integration scenarios that we have with it. Okay. So as you can see here, where it says in that middle line for yunIO, we can execute BOPs and function modules as well, extract data from SAP tables and views, execute SAP transactions, again, without SAP GUI interaction. You do not need this SAP GUI on the device at the time when you're trying to step through these transaction protocols. Um, and last but not least, extract data from SAP ABAP reports. Whether they are custom reports or standard reports, as long as they have an ALV-like grid, you can utilize this to move forward with that extraction. Let's take a quick look into some of our success stories that we have within both of these seamless products, not only Extract Universal, but yunIO as well. The first one we'll jump into is our success story with Nestle Germany. So Nestle essentially needed a more efficient way to integrate their SAP data into Microsoft environments to improve decision making. They implemented Extract Universal, allowing this automated SAP data extraction within their system. We was able to install this into their cloud within days, if that makes sense. It wasn't a long process to install the solution at all. Once the solution was installed, it resulted in a 30% faster data extraction process for them, which then reduced their manual effort and gave them quicker access to real-time data for, again, better decision making, which was their goal. This is for our Extract Universal tool. For our yunIO tool, we worked with Cobb, um, and they needed to specifically ensure consistent SAP data availability across all of their systems for their Microsoft Power platform. They implemented yunIO, enabling this seamless integration only within 2 days. And the added benefit or the solution that we have that streamlined data extraction ensured that data was consistent across all of their platforms. So what the value that it added was that they were able to save a significant amount of time automating these data flows, um, and allowing their team to focus only on the analysis of things, okay? I will now jump into a live demonstration of our Extract Universal tool, um, showcasing how we can extract information from SAP and get it to a cloud platform of our liking or our choosing, okay? As I share my screen here, we are now logged into our Extract Universal Designer. So Extract Universal, first and foremost, offers a few different methods of authenticating and securing a connection between XU Designer as well as the XU server. Right now, I'm utilizing one that is on our local host, as you can see. If I go to disconnect and then sign back in, I'm using my local host, and the authentication is through anonymous or no encryption, just for the sake of this demonstration. So as we can now enter the designer, you can see that the designer features different functionalities to design and configure extractions that you see here. This will be our GUI window where I can create a new one, edit a distraction or delete it, as well as clone. And if I wanted to, I can also validate which source or which target destination is going to, okay? So with previous updates to our UI, you can now see the folder structures that we have here, as well as subfolders. So as I have a extraction here within our window tree that has not been categorized or put into a specific subfolder, I do have the option to drag and drop. So I can drag and drop this new extraction called demo SAP and drop into, let's say, our query folder. I can then validate that you can now see it in our query folder, okay? In regards to moving forward with the demonstration, I'm going to walk you all through creating a extraction specifically to the type of a report. So just like we saw in SAP, as I have my SAP system with ECC, if I go into the properties, this is what it looks like when we try to utilize the same source from our XU side. So if I go to our report and I go to report MB51, which we'll be pulling today, as I look at our source information to get to our source to grab that information, it'll be the same. So I will take that application server, copy it over, as well as the instance number and the system ID. Once I have that information, I can then go ahead and move forward with testing our designer. First, I will need to provide my credentials from SAP, which is my username as well as my password, and then I can go ahead and test the designer. We then also support load balancing and different mechanisms as well if you have system-wide users. So now that I am connected, I can show you from the SAP side first. I will connect to my ECC system. Once connected to my ECC system, I will go to the report to display the cost line items or cost centers. Within this report, we have the use of variants. I can utilize a system-wide variant here to pull specific information that has already been structured for me, and I can go ahead and execute this report. This report then renders that information for the cost line items for this cost center here in a ALV-like or table-like grid for my liking for any type of further processing or analysis, correct? As I go over to our XU component or XU designer, I can do the same thing. I can choose my source. Again, you can have as many sources as you like. And I showed you how you can report that or you can configure that. I apologize. So we're going to go test KSB1 underscore. We're going to choose our report component. We're going to press OK. Now, as we start to move forward with our report component, I'm now going to utilize the T code radio button to move forward. If I did know specifically the report name, I can use the report radio button to do so. If not, once I search, it'll give me the report name, so I can use it if I needed to go directly to the report also. Same instance using the T code, there's no difference. Now that I have the T code pulled up, I can now choose the same variant as long as I'm on the same environment that I use on my SAP side. As you can see, demo variant is available. I can now automatically detect the columns that I'm going to be pulling for this data set, and I can load a preview of that information. Now with the preview loaded, as you can see here, within this data set, we are showing the header information. If I wanted to create a clean data set, I can easily skip 3 rows from the top to create that clean data set, or if I didn't, I can just use 0 and just bring in the header as I initially wanted to. Within our extraction settings, let's say that this was too big of a report to run just in one instance. I can use it I can use it in background mode for batch processing, and it'll run in the background while I can do other things and not draw too much attention on the SAP system in general. So I can utilize this as a background mode to move forward and press OK. Now that I have our test KSB1 report here, I can then choose the destination of my liking. We have over 20 different destinations here that you can choose from and configure. Some such as Salesforce, SharePoint, Snowflake, 9. You can use HTTP, JSON, or Amazon Redshift or Amazon S3 like we're going to use today. So I'll use this to go to my S3 location or destination. And now I can go ahead and run this extraction. As you can see here, this is my run extraction dialog screen that just gives me a heads up on what's going to be happening. As I run it, you can see my source is coming from ECC. It's going to my destination S3. It gives me my execution start as well as how many rows will be extracted in this process. And it also has a status window to let me know if it was finished successfully like it says now. So through the logs that you see below, we can follow step by step how this process occurred. We can see how the report attempted to run with the naming that we had, what source we're using, as well as the destination, as well as showing us within the batch job where we ran this in background mode, it shows us the name that we utilize for this executed job, as well as the job number that you can go ahead and take a look at on the SAP side as well. It then gives us a status of this background job. We can see that it ended with the status of F, which was finished, and it also created a spool ID as well. So with all of that, you see now we were able to extract our information from SAP, send it over into our S3 system without storing it in the middle, with it being a direct pass through. And now we have that information in S3 for further processing. That's how we can create a new extraction in Extract Universal. If we wanted to edit an extraction in Extract Universal, I can go to a previous extraction like you see here for table VBOC. So this is going to be for the table component. Table component will be good for extracting SAP information or data from tables and or views. So as I edit this component quickly, you can see table VBOC, which is for header data for your sales document. As we all know in SAP, SAP tables are or have relations to other tables. So just as we have VBOC, we're pulling this specific information where I can load this preview and count how many rows we have. Should be, yep, a little bit over 266 rows. I can also add in a related table using asterisks for, let's grab the line item data for VBOP. And now we can join these two tables together. You can also utilize this table component for cluster tables. It's just that you cannot join cluster tables together. You can only join two different transparent tables that may have some type of related field, as you can see here, to auto map or join on. We're joining a labeling field here, and we're also able to create a where clause to filter out. So as you can see in this where clause, we're not going to be bringing any information that is that is older than the 1st of January 2020, as we had 266 rows earlier. Now that we have joined in a different table, we are now processing 327 rows from this result that we can also load a live preview of and then move forward with. As we run this one as well, we can run with the same run extraction information or overview for where we're coming from, where's the destination, and also the rows extracted and the status of the extraction in general. As you can see, as we're going through two different extractions, every line here is labeled as an extraction. Each extraction needs a type, which can be from, again, any one of the 10 components I have. It needs a source from where it's coming from. As you can see, I have some S4 sources as well as ECC. You can also use BW. And then it also needs a destination for where you're going to be sending this information to a targeted environment. That's the makeup of an actual extraction within Extract Universal. We will now take a look at our S3 bucket or platform to see if we generated that up-to-date information from our Extract Universal. So as you can see here, for the reports test KSB1, it was sent over as well. And for our update to extraction that we had previously for the table VBOC, we added VBOP, and we were able to then join that table and send it over to our S3 system as well. So that's it for the live demonstration. I will now hand it over to Christophe to run through our roadmap and give you a better look into that as well.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and talk a little bit about what we have on our roadmap. We have some very exciting features that we're planning on, short-term and longer term. And I'll just speak to these briefly about. So at the moment, we're in October now. If we're looking towards the end of the year, we have a number of things that we're already developing that we intend to complete before the end of the year. Brian showed you the report component earlier on. There's some reports in SAP where the formatting is a little more challenging. For example, reports that have subtotals or groupings. So with this enhancement, we can also parse the data for these reports properly into a data set and send it to a destination. So that's about to be released this month, actually. Then we also had quite a few customers asking us about support for Microsoft Fabric OneLake. Microsoft Fabric is a newer offering from Microsoft, including their new data platform OneLake. So that's also coming this month, and we're very happy to partner with Microsoft around that as one of the SAP partners. We're also working on some BICS or BICS enhancement. That's an interface in BW that quite a few of our customers actually use to pull data based on BW queries. With BICS, you see improved performance, and you see functionality similar that you see in Analysis for Office, except that the data set can be sent directly to any cloud destination, as Brian showed you in the demo. Then we're also working on really broadening our SAP footprint, and the first system, the first non-ABAP system that we add to our product suite will be SAP Concur. So customers will be able to pull travel and expense data and then analyze that and work with that data in different environments. We're also working at the moment on supporting OData as a protocol. Most of our extractions are based on RFC today. That will still be an important protocol. It's very fast, it's efficient, but SAP has also come out with a note not too long ago restricting some interfaces to be used with the RFC protocol. So that's one of the reasons and motivations for us and our customers to look at OData as a protocol. It is also very important to connect customers to SAP Public Cloud Edition. So those are two reasons why we're doing this and developing that. We're looking at a Data IQ plugin that's also in development, and we're working with Alteryx, our partner, on developing some SAP migration templates. These are templates intended to support an SAP migration. Think about, for instance, the task of preparing data before it is uploaded into the new SAP system. That's not necessarily covered by SAP tools, or you might have to license additional tools. So Alteryx is a great tool to do that kind of data prep and data cleansing, but it can also be very helpful to reconcile. The business is often tasked after the migration to validate data, and Alteryx can really help to simplify and automate some of that process. Next up, now we're looking at the first half of next year. By mid next year, our plan is to have a SaaS offering in the market for data integration. We have quite a few customers who would prefer a SaaS offering. Those are cloud-first customers, and with this offering, we will be able to do that. It will also enable some of our ISV partners, our software partners, to integrate better with us through APIs. We're also working on an extract embedded solution. This is also a solution that we're developing for partners, for software partners that would like to have SAP connectivity and SAP integration capabilities embedded in their own solution. So you will have, with this embedded solution, very similar capabilities to what you see in our extract tools, but the partner, the ISV partner, can completely embed it in their own solution offering. We're also seeing increased interest from our customers in SAP DataSphere. We can already send data to SAP DataSphere with Extract Universal. That's supported and available as of today. Next year, we will also add it as a source. And then we're also working on just a better integration into data lakehouse environments. So those will be some enhancements coming next year. Later in 2025, we're looking at a built-in scheduler in our tool. There was a question from somebody in the audience here about that. And I just want to briefly explain why we haven't done it in the past. What we're finding is many customers have different preferences when it comes to how they want to automate or orchestrate these data extracts. Sometimes our extract tools are part of a broader process where customers need to orchestrate all kinds of data movements from system A to system B, not always involving SAP, but also many other systems. And so oftentimes they have a scheduling tool of choice. It could be an automation tool like Control M. It could be their preferred ETL tool. It could be something like Airflow. So it could be all kinds of different preferences. And that's why we said, let's focus on delivering a robust CLI, a command line interface, as well as a REST endpoint, an HTTP endpoint that customers can use to schedule and orchestrate these data extracts. And that's been our model so far. But we are finding that there's always some customers that don't really have a preferred tool. They would like to have something built in. We will also look at SAP Ariba as another non-ABAP data source in 2025, as well as the capability to stream data. At the moment, we're very extract or batch oriented. With this capability, we will enable continuous data streams into event hubs or something like Kafka. And then we're also working with our partners Snowflake and Alteryx to support their latest architectures with regards to cloud integration. In Snowflake, there's this concept of a native app that we want to support, and Alteryx, they call it cloud execution. So that's a bit of an overview of what we're working on. And now I'd like to open it up again for Q&A. Some questions were already posted. Feel free to post any other questions that you might have. Sorry, Brian, I was probably a little quick on that. You had two more slides.
Perfect time, and don't worry about that, Christoph. We also, while you guys are gathering questions and sending them within the chat, we do want to let you know that we offer a free trial version, so we encourage you today to give it a try. It comes with our support with no cost to you, and as mentioned, it's free, but most importantly, you get the full functionality of our tools as you've seen here today. So we will open it up to a couple of more questions if you guys do have any. I think at this time I don't see any coming through. But again, feel free to either send those questions in or raise your hand and we can try to bring you guys on stage to ask that question as well. Doesn't seem like I'm seeing any come through, Christoph.
Yeah, nothing in addition. So yeah, we'll give this another 15, 20 seconds and then we'll close the webinar. Thank you again, everyone, for joining today. Really appreciate it. You will see a follow-up email from us that you can also, of course, use to answer any additional questions that might come up. Thank you.
Thank you guys again.